So she took a trip and broke her hip. How are you guys all doing? Welcome to the channel. I am Ty Smith. You're watching my channel, Modern Renaissance Man. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to view my content. Make sure that you're following me on all the platforms you see above and below. And when you hit this like button right here, it helps send my content message out in the algorithm world, but it also helps keep my content to constantly be recommended to you. When you subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit that bell notification. That way you will be notified when I do post a video. All right, appreciate it. Double check and make sure that you are subscribed to my channel if you've been following me for some time. So ladies and gentlemen, the infamous Nancy Pelosi. I don't know if y'all know about this. She took a trip and fell down some stairs apparently. And from what we knew earlier is that she was just hospitalized. Okay. Nobody knew what happened. I and amongst other friends of mine, colleagues of mine, other doctors, other PAs, other nurses and all that. Why is it the first thing they're going to look at me and say, Ty, I bet you think she broke her hip, didn't you? Because, you know, that's my specialty, orthopedics and all that. Right. So I was like, it's a high chance. It's a high probability that she did based off of her age and everything. Most people that are in that age, you know, if you in the age of, let's say, mid 60s on up, it's a good chance that should you fall, it's a high probability that you're going to fracture / break your hip, right? So lo and behold, that's what they end up coming out and saying is that Mrs. Pelosi, she fell and fractured her hip, fall in Europe, right? So let's get ready to talk about it. Ladies and gents. All right. Former Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi was hospitalized in Luxembourg on Friday after she fractured her hip in a fall, according to a report. Pelosi, 84, was traveling with the congressional delegation for the 80th anniversary of the Battle of the Bulge and last major German offensive Second World War when she fell. Speaker Emerdia, Nancy Pelosi, I didn't even know that was her name. I thought it was just Nancy. Speaker Nancy Pelosi sustained an injury during an official engagement and was admitted to the hospital for evaluation, said Pelosi spokesperson. Pelosi's office did not initially disclose how the California Congresswoman was injured or her diagnosis, but said she was receiving excellent treatment from the doctors and medical professionals. She continues to be working and regrets that she is unable to attend the remainder of the CODL engagements to honor the courage of our service members during one of the greatest acts of American heroism in the nation's history. The statement continued. Sources close to the Congresswoman, however, told New York Times that Pelosi fractured her hip in the fall. According to a third source, Pelosi tripped down marble stairs at the Grand Ducal Palace in Luxembourg when she fell. I'm sorry, my mind just went, Biden fell up, she fell down. Anyway, it was a hard fall, two people familiar with the incident told the Washington Post. Pelosi, widely considered a pivotal leader within the Democratic Party, has been a member of Congress for 37 years. She served as House Speaker twice from 2007 until 2011, then again from 2019 to 2023. She was reelected to Congress representing the 11th District in California in November. Krager said Pelosi looks forward to returning home to the U.S. soon. Rep. Michael McCall, Republican of Texas, joined Pelosi on the foreign trip and wished her a quick recovery. I'm disappointed Speaker Pelosi won't be able to join the rest of the delegation events this weekend, as I know how much she looked forward to honoring our veterans, McCall wrote on X Friday. But she is strong, and I'm confident she will be back on her feet in no time. The injury comes 2 years later after a man broke. Nobody care about all that stuff like that. Her husband was caught in the little sex thing with that man in there butt naked halfway, and Mr. Pelosi half naked himself, getting ready to get a hammer took to him. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it depends on where she broke her hip at, right? You can have a bunch of things that go on. She broke her hip in a specific area where there's some major arteries there. In her age, a lot of times they can end up having a high mortality rate if they end up developing something called avascular necrosis, right? Which I doubt she did, because they would have said something like that if it was more serious. But this is very common amongst people like that. We see this, well, I don't anymore because I'm directing, but we see this all the time, right? In orthopedics, especially orthopedic surgery, is that somebody fall and fracture hip. It depends on where they fractured it, how bad the fracture is, if they're going to end up having a partial hip replacement or if they're going to have a full hip replacement, what we call a THA or total hip. Lord, I'm having a brain cramp right here because I'm trying to talk too fast. Total hip replacement is what she can have, okay? That means they end up taking the whole ball of the neck to the femur and end up putting a whole nother axle in there, or better yet, I don't, y'all, if I say these words, y'all gonna be like, okay, we don't know what it is. Point is, ladies and gentlemen, if she have a partial hip replacement or a total hip replacement, her recovery rate looks very well. It takes about a good 45 minutes to an hour to completely have this done. And within that same day of her having this surgery, usually we have them up and walking that same day. Hey everybody, so I'm interrupting this real quick just to let you guys all know, those of you that have been asking how can you help and how can you donate towards the children and help children have Christmas, the ones that are involved under the mentorship of me, you can easily do it by donating to my PayPal or the Cash App right up there. And again, let me reiterate this, folks. I don't want you guys to feel any pressure. If you do, great. If you do not, great. I just want you guys to know that that window is open right there for the ones who keep texting me, the ones who keep emailing me. That way everybody else can see it as well. It does not matter because I make sure that the kids get taken care of anyway. But some of my subscribers who have been consistently and have been loyal in donating there, I know you guys always ask me to remind you to do it. So here is your reminder. And everybody else, to the rest of you, no matter what you do, whether you do or don't, I hope you guys all have a Merry Christmas. Try to get them moving. With the hip replacement, the recovery rate is outstandingly fast, it's quick. And I can guarantee you if she had a hip replacement, which I don't know if she did or not, but usually with a fracture, a lot of times they do at her age. And like I said, it depends on where she did it at. It's a good chance that she's going to be up and walking the same exact day she had the surgery done. It's a chance that she, depending on when she did it, I forget they said, but most of our patients, if you get, let's say for example, today is Saturday, right? If we had a patient that had hip replacement at 6 a.m. this morning, right? They get done within, let's say, 7 o'clock. Back up in their room. Sometimes we give them a nerve block or something like that, depending on how severe the pain is. Most of the time, though, with a hip, it's not really that painful, right? But anyway, nevertheless, they end up getting the pain pump, whatever, if need be. Most of those people are going to be going home the next day. And if they want to keep them there a little longer, maybe 2 or 3 days, they end up prescribing physical therapy with them. Physical therapists come in there, get them out of bed, get them walking, get them going already. Then like within a 3-day span, and usually if they ask questions whether they got stairs at home, no pun intended, stairs at home, because you want all that information and you want to practice that with them before they get out. But usually when they get up, they're usually with a front wheel walker to walk with, 2 wheels in the front, sliders in the back. Therapist right there walking with them with a wheelchair follow, and that person is up and moving. It feels a little weird at first for them but within a week's time, they're usually up and moving and really, really good. So she has a high chance of recovering from this without no major issues and no major setbacks. If pain medication is going to be needed, she will most likely definitely be taking it. But most people that have hip replacements usually have a moderate amount of pain. So anywhere from, they always say it usually gets no higher than 6. They'll say my pain, because we asked them if their pain level is between a 1 and a 10. Usually they always say 5, 4, whatever like that. Not too bad, whatever. But so anyway, just want to throw that out there to you guys because this is right up my alley. I love doing this. I love treating this. We love seeing the recovery of this. And I think that is pretty much it. She doesn't look like she's going to have any problems. And yeah, unfortunately or fortunately, one of the biggest things she's going to do, especially if she have this in her home, they're going to have her practice ascending, descending stairs is what they're going to do. They're going to be working on her gait to do those very things and making sure that her balance is there and all that. So she got a road to recovery ahead of her, but it's not going to be like a very hard recovery. But at the same time, she is 84 years old. I don't know what her prior physical level of activity was, whatever like that. But the biggest thing they're going to be doing is addressing how she's going to be working on what we call ADLs, which is activities of daily living. So other than that, she's going to be okay, I think, unless, again, if that fracture happened in a place that's not being disclosed right now, if it happened like towards the pubic area or something like that. I don't know exactly where it is because the main thing that we did it with was working with the femur when they say a hip. Anytime we hear about a fractured hip, it's always the femur somewhere there. And interestingly enough, a lot of times, y'all, this seems weird, is what we're being told from the books that I had when I was going through schooling, is that most of the time, the hip actually fractures before they hit the ground. Strange, but yeah. But then at the same time, some people do hit that outer part of their hip, which Nancy Pelosi seems to be a little frail. If she would have fell forward, she probably would have got helped out by, because she, I'm just playing to throw that out there. Yeah, but Anyway, y'all, I just want to throw that out there, guys. And I didn't want to throw out too much big medical terminology word because you guys would be like, what is that? What is that? What do you mean you have to do what do you mean a reamer? What do you mean? I just leave it alone. She most likely is going to be fine if they had to do anything like a partial hip replacement or a total hip replacement, plain and simple. So, all right, just want to throw that out there and give you that information, all right? Let me know what you guys all think about this. Some of y'all going to think like karma, that's what she gets. I know it's going to be some of y'all out there like that. I know it. Let me know what you guys all think about this by putting it in the comment section after this video. Don't forget to do what you guys see in that cloud right there. And if you would like to see the next video that I will be doing in chronological order, it's going to be up here. Things that I do as a variety on this channel right here. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. Most of all, praying every last one of you guys are in great health mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.